Last time I was seeing it. Yeah, 30 people in the room.
Boys and girls, get ready. Night show. In 10, 9, 8,
7, 6.
5.
Boosters on.
4, 3, 2.
It's a go. All go. What is going on? Hey, I was trying to think about how NASA, what all they say, and I was like, man, my brain couldn't like process fast enough to even say anything that sounded remotely intelligent. So, man, what is going on, guys? We are back in the mix, dude. This is cool. We got a nice little team over here. We got Jeremy Stolt, we got Hex Speed over here, we got RC Pilot Will, and Jeremy Stolt is wearing the horrible employee shirt. I thought that was hilarious. I mean, you know,
for my real job.
For his real job.
Not RC. I think I'm pretty
not RC. Definitely not RC. But yeah, guys,
look,
here. It's another wonderful Thursday, man. We've got a nice little show going on. And this one, I've been trying to get Hex Speed over here, trying to get Brett on the show because I wanted to talk about his 80 millimeter SR-71 because I thought that was so cool. When it came out, me and Will were like, how come they didn't make it like a 80 millimeter? Why would they not do that? But want to welcome Brett to the channel. And you got your sidekick right there. What's your sidekick's name?
This is Bentley.
Hey, what's up, Bentley? How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
Now, do you fly as well?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Now, who's the better pilot?
He does great.
I was gonna say, who's the better pilot? Okay. All right. Fair enough. You know what's funny?
No, we know Bentley's the better pilot.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like I know who feeds me.
He's
right?
just being humble.
But no, man. Well, good. Glad to have you guys here. We got Kyler in the background over there playing video games. What's up, Kyler? See you over there. And yeah, man. So we are in the mix. Want to tell you guys happy Thursday. We did it again. We are back in the sling. So we did it. We're almost on the cusp of a cool weekend, man. So last week we actually had some pretty decent weather. We got out a little bit, but yeah, man. So RC Paulo, what's new in your neck of the woods?
Man, you know I got that J20 up in the air recently. So other than that, same old, just working, trying to make the bills, man. That's all.
Trying to make some airplane money, right?
Yeah, make some airplane money. Make the bills and make airplane money. I gotta give more of my money to Banana Hobby when that F-35 comes out.
Man, oh yeah, get that little 64 millimeter. This little guy right here.
Yeah, I gotta give them some more money.
Yeah, man.
So, just waiting on it.
Definitely well worth it. So, Brett, man, what's going on with you, buddy? I've been trying to link up with you for a while, and you have been working. You've been vacationing. Yeah. We couldn't get our schedules together, but finally the stars aligned, and boom, you're here, man. You're here.
Yeah, and for a short time only.
I'm glad to have you for any amount of time that you're here. But man, let's jump into it, dude. So tell me, what made you want to get and change up the SR-71? What made you want to do that?
Well, I mean, it flew pretty nice. I mean, once I got the CG moved back a bunch and the AS3X Plus in it, honestly, I really enjoyed the model, but performance wasn't horrible, but it wasn't what I thought it should have been. So I've talked about this before, but to me, I feel like when it comes to scale modeling, the airplane that you're modeling needs to represent the real one and more than just the way it looks. So like, you know, if it looks like an SR-71 but flies like a Cessna, then or performs like a Cessna, then it's not right. You know, and anyone can fly a Cessna, but not everyone can fly an SR-71. So,
I agree.
And just like when it comes to like my Warbirds and stuff, there's certain things about certain airplanes where there's a specific characteristic of the plane that kind of defines the airplane. Well, with an SR-71, the performance, the speed, and the climb rate, and the service ceiling are all things that define how awesome the SR-71 is. And so, as a model, being kind of on the slower side and not really having any vertical and flight times that were mediocre at best, I was like, I bet you this thing would go really well with a couple of 80s in it.
Absolutely.
And having seen how slow the plane would land, actually, I was convinced that adding the weight of the second battery, a large battery, by the way, I'm running 2 7,000s. I could run smaller, but all I have are 7,000s. So
yeah, why not?
Yeah, and I kind of figured, you know what, it's going to land faster, but I think it's going to be still pretty decent. And so essentially what we did was kind of create what the free-wing SR-71 should have been from the beginning. But there's a lot of reasons why they didn't do twin 80s. For one, once I got into it, at first I was like, oh, yeah, this shouldn't be too hard. I'll just get in there, hog some foam out, slap the fans in it, and call it a day. Well, as it turns out, it's a very compact area. And because you have to take a lot of things into consideration when you add a second battery to the airplane, especially a large one, you got to account for that in the placement of all your other equipment. So now the only way to get the CG without adding a bunch of weight to the tail is to move the fans back. Well, that really complicated things. And I kind of cut into the airplane. And at first I was like, this was a mistake. I should just move it back together right now. And then I was like, well, I came this far. I might as well keep cutting. So yeah, I ended up having to create some structure because there is a structural tie. There's a plastic structure piece that goes up and over the nacelle. Right. That ties the inner wing to the outer wing. Well, I had to get rid of all of that to put the fan right in that spot. So then I had to create a 1/4-inch plywood spar carry through that was, anyways, there's a lot of engineering that went into it after I cut it open and was like, oh boy, this is a mess. So
you're like, what did I do?
Yeah, I mean, the end result was great. It flies fantastic, and the performance is amazing, and the flight times are honestly, well, with 7,000s, I'm at 6-minute flights. And that's flying it relatively hard too. So I can use lots of touch and goes with it. I can do lots of high speed passes, and it's a lot of fun. So
I'm going to share the screen real quick on you actually flying it and everything.
Customizing.
So that's how you customize it, basically, right? Can you explain what we're looking at right here?
Yeah. So right now I'm just showing the battery bays. So that's with both batteries in it, and so for those that haven't seen this model before, so I'm running the CG 1.5 inches behind the factory marks, which some people would say is insane because Freewing said don't move it behind the marks at all. And I went 1.5 inches behind. Honestly, you could probably go more. But it also has AS3X Plus. So I don't recommend running the CG that far back without running a better gyro. And it's not that the stock gyro isn't okay or good. It's just that it's not tuned for, it doesn't have the capabilities that AS3X Plus has. I'll put it that way. Yeah, it does. It's better than not having a gyro, but it's not as good as AS3X Plus. And the way I like to describe AS3X Plus is it's like having fly-by-wire for your model. So but not only does it do stabilization to the point where it'll actually make a tail-heavy airplane sort of fly. It also corrects for the wind gusts and everything else. But I wouldn't want to actually try this out and risk losing the model, but I'm sure if I turned off the gyro, it would be almost unflyable with that CG, just because that's way behind the factory marks. And so it'll still bite you. It'll still stall and do that pitch up flop thingy, but the AS3X Plus really keeps that to a minimum. I mean, it doesn't just randomly do it as you get slow as it probably would without a gyro. So
that's a great way to explain AS3 Plus. It's like fly by wire. I never really thought of it like that.
So AS3X Plus has some heading hole designed into it. So even though you haven't put any in there yourself, there is some in the software. So there's a lot going on there. It's not just a wind gust correction thing. That AS3X Plus is kind of a lot more than that. So we put it in essentially everything now. We have the Synapse, which is the same software in the larger models.
Right.
And it really transforms the way things fly. So that's what's allowed me to get the CG back on the SR-71. And you would ask, well, why would I want to do that in the first place? Well, for one, the airplane doesn't rotate very nicely at all with the stock CG. It kind of hops off the ground and pitches off the ground quickly. When it lands, the nose just slams on the ground.
Yeah.
When you fly inverted, you got to push a lot of down to get it to fly inverted. And that's fine because they gave you a safe CG that most people could handle. But I don't like flying models that feel nose heavy, and I especially don't like an SR-71 when they take off and land, the nose comes up first, and it lands, and the nose stays up for a little bit. You can't do that with the stock CG. And this thing will fly inverted, not quite hands off, but almost hands off. And for a Delta, that's
impressive.
Telling me that my CG is definitely in the back end of the margin, but
yeah,
it flies really, really sweet, to be honest with you. So.
Man, I'm really impressed. You know, I was a little skeptical of this airplane, and then I'm watching your video, and I'm like, it seems like 80 millimeters is the way to go, honestly.
Yeah, and I get why they didn't do it because it gets complicated, and it was probably too hard to produce that way.
Yeah.
And also, people weren't going to want to run 2 batteries, you know, the whole thing. There's a lot of reasons why they did it, you know, and it made it lighter and more flyable for more people. So I totally understand. But, and this might come off the wrong way to some people, but I almost feel like certain airplanes should only be achievable once you've achieved a certain level of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I absolutely agree.
But they want to sell airplanes, and I totally get it. They want to make it for everybody. But, you know, as a kid, if you had a model of an SR-71 back in the day, it was like you were it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had an F-14 or an SR-71, you know, you knew what you were doing, and it meant something back then. Now it's kind of gone away, honestly, because everything now is all pre-made and everything is, you know it's going to fly. The gyros help out a ton.
Yeah.
So it takes away from some of like that specialness of having like a more difficult to fly airplane. So
man,
I figured I would just create it myself.
A lot of times the stock CG is more so on the nose heavy side anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, almost every freewing model that I've ever had has had a super, I won't say nose heavy, but a very cautious CG. You know what I'm saying? They don't want anyone to get in trouble with it. So in order to keep people from ending up with a tail heavy model, they tell you to put it kind of far forward just to keep things on the safer side. And not everyone likes to fly a CG far back either. Some people prefer to be on the nose heavy side, but I just don't. So
yeah, none of my stuff is flying on the nose heavies or the stock CG, should I say? Not even the J20, Bobby. I mean, little spoiler on that. What he said about AS3X Plus is true, because with the 6000 HRB, I'm sitting about 8 millimeters behind the CG mark on that fly fans, and the AS3X Plus, I have some heading hold in there as well, and that helps the plane to keep from getting that tail heaviness feeling. If I turn that gyro off, I'll probably crash that thing. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't want to try and land this SR-71 without that gyro at the CG where it's at, for sure.
Yeah, I'll probably crash it without the gyro on. But
and also, like if you watch some of the motion RC videos on the SR-71, when they're flying it in windy conditions, they get a lot of wing rock when they come into land. And the cool thing about AS3X Plus is that you can use a transmitter and adjust everything right there. So I have it set up to where when I put the gear down, my gains go way up, because the gains that work at 120 don't work that great at 50. So at 50 miles an hour. So when you're coming into land, the nose comes up, things change, the airplane's slow. And so, for instance, your roll gains aren't going to do as much as they could. They're set for flying faster. So I have it on a switch. And so when I put the gear down, all my gains go way up. And so that thing, we don't have footage on our channel of it flying with that setup on it, but I have some footage after that flight that you just showed at an event that we went to. My friend John, his YouTube channel is called Just Wing It.
Mm-hmm.
And he took a nice video. Yeah, he got a real nice video of it. I did a bunch of touch and goes where the nose never touched the ground. He just came in, touched the mains, then took back off. You can see on the takeoff, it rotates super nice. The problem with our runway that from the video just shows it's so bumpy. It's hard to get like a super nice rotation because the runway is so bumpy. It just doesn't.
That means you got to come up here to Utah.
but it was pretty breezy during that event, and if you watch that video, you'll see just how stable it is coming in. It's like rock solid. So
Matter of fact, I got the video queued up.
Oh,
And
okay.
big shout out to Winging It. It's on his channel, and we'll take a look at it real quick just so we can kind of see what you're talking about. So here it is.
That's a solid plane.
Yeah, you watch the takeoff, you watch how nice it rotates versus like how a stock one would with a factory CG. And you don't use full throttle, you just kind of ease the power up.
Dude, that was smooth.
That was
And that was probably like a 60% throttle takeoff. Like I wasn't using that much power.
Wow.
So yeah, if you skip towards about 3/4 of the way through, I did about 5 touch and goes in a row. And a couple of them are the first one was terrible. It was a plopper for sure.
Let's see if we can find that. Man, that was good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I like to do touch and goes, so
You are a wheelie master.
Man, that's wild that you can
touch
actually
and
do it.
goes
with that
definitely
boat.
make you better at landing.
That's right.
I mean, they did touch and goes in the real one too, so
Man, that's amazing.
it's a lot of fun to fly. It's honestly one of the more fun foam models that I have, to be honest with you. I really enjoy flying it. And it's such a cool airplane too. I mean, who doesn't like the SR-71? It's probably one of the neatest airplanes ever made. So
And the parachute works. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah.
actually works.
It slows it down really well. And it works almost every time. I've kind of figured out how to pack the chute to where every time I hit it, it comes out and it deploys. And that was the other thing too about going with a heavier weight that I wasn't worried about, was that half the time the thing would land so slow on the stock setup that the chute would barely even come out because it was already going so slow. So I'm like, well, at least now to be moving. I mean, I added 3 pounds to the airplane, so which is a lot. It's like 35% to the weight of the airplane. So it's quite a bit added. But I mean, there was a good headwind in that video, but I mean, it wasn't blowing that hard. It was maybe 10 miles an hour, but it still landed super controllable, still, not crazy fast or anything. So
Dude, that's awesome. I really enjoy that. That was one of the things where I saw that airplane and I was like, dude, you did it. You put the 80 in there and it looked like it just made it completely a different airplane. Like,
yeah, and the vertical's awesome. It's got tons of vertical compared to the stock setup. So
let me ask you. So are you gonna try the J20 and maybe see if you can put some 80s in that thing?
So here's my thing with like the J20. It looks like a really well done model, and Banana Hobbies is actually all their recent releases as far as like the B1 and this J20. All their engineering is honestly top notch, like really nicely done models. And Jeremy has a lot to do with that because those guys pretty much don't let them release it until it's the way they want it. So a lot goes to those guys for making sure it gets done right.
Oh,
and
you made him shed a tear just now.
Well, and that's what it takes, honestly, to get a super nice model like that. It takes somebody pushing the changes through the manufacturing committee. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of these things are. And unless you have someone that's super picky, like Jeremy is, which honestly is a good thing, a lot of the models turn out mediocre, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like paint and markings and stuff. It just blows my mind how some stuff slips through production, and especially on some of these turbine models and things like that. You pay all this money for, and you see some of the, and I'm real picky about colors and markings and sizing of markings and all that stuff. So I'm probably the last person to ask about that stuff because I am so picky, and I'll point out just about anything. Even on my own stuff, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. But
we do talk to you.
If I were to go out and spend $10,000 on a model, I would expect the markings to be awesome. And a lot of these models that come out just aren't. And it blows my mind. And then everyone thinks they look great because they don't see it. But I see that. So it takes guys like Jeremy to make sure that they do get all that stuff right. But not just that, but the way it flies, the gyro setups, all that stuff. And those guys make sure that all happens. Now, back to the J20. It looks like an incredible model. It's probably really fun to fly. I'm just not much a Chinese airplane fan.
I know, man. Look, it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel right. It just doesn't.
Now, if it were
right.
a YF-23 or an F-117 or something like that, I'd be all over it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure if I flew one, I'd be like, man, this J20 is super cool, but I just can't bring myself,
I know,
to
man.
doing it. So
It's very, very. As I was flying it, I was like, and I just kicked out a video yesterday, right, of it flying, and in the video, I'm like, this thing actually flies. I think I like the way it flies. It flies better than the J20. And
no, you say fly better than the F-22.
Not better than the J20, but than the F-22. And I'm like, yeah,
that's actually really, a pretty hard airplane to beat. I mean, I don't like the F-22, but they make a pretty good flying model, to be honest with you. So for it to fly nicer than the 22 is
F-22 stuff.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting how well it flies. It glides really, really nice, and it just has great handling speed. So it was hard for me to actually say that, but I was like, man, I mean, I got to give credit where it's due, but I definitely understand what you mean. Well, it feels a little weird to to fly.
I got a buddy of mine. I got a buddy of mine at work, and he is a Air Force veteran. And when he saw that I was flying that jet, he had some choice words for me that I cannot say on the chat.
Hey, man, you have
funny.
to close your.
I was just thinking because if you look around my garage, I only have 2 airplanes that are not American.
Right.
3 maybe. Yeah. So
I got away with flying. I got away with flying the Sukhoi. He didn't say anything about that, but when he saw me flying that J20, he was like, yeah.
He was like, okay.
I'm like, okay.
Your answer, Will, is this. Every American fighter jet needs a target.
That's right.
Otherwise, airliners.
That's true.
Yeah, without the J20, we wouldn't have the F-47 coming. So
that's right.
You're right.
We should be thanking the Chinese.
I know we really should. Besides, that's our technology anyway. They just stole it. So I can't confirm or deny that. But yeah, I will say it would be cool to see like a F-117 or something different. You know what I mean? Like another. But you said it. What is it? The YF-23 or something like that?
YF-23 would be nice to see,
dude. Or the Su-57. I'd be okay with that.
Hey, Banana Hobby did have a 23 back with LX. So
I do remember that.
They did do one once.
Yeah. I just would like to see a nice one,
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm just saying there's got to be a start somewhere.
Yeah.
Or a nice Su-40 or Su-47? Is it 47?
Oh, the Berku, whatever it's called, the forward swept wing one.
Yeah,
with the forward swept wings.
That was really weird. Forward swept wings don't translate well onto models, but it works well on the full size.
Yeah.
And the reason that is because a forward swept wing requires a lot of strength. And so they tend to flex a lot. And so if you don't have a super strong wing, which in a model means weight, they tend to get floppy in the air. So, and they can flutter and stuff. But yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, man.
The Su-35 with the canards on it. There's a Su-35 that has the canards on it. I can't remember.
You mean the Su-57?
No, there's a 35 that also has canards.
Oh.
They made a 35 with canards.
It's like a 32.
Those are the 30. It's a 32
or something like that.
Well, the 34 had canards on it too, but
it's like this, but it has canards.
But it has canards.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember what it is because they all look the same to me. It's like they just morph with Play-Doh a little bit. They're like, pull out a little bit. That's a surface.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see. So another one that you guys might think is cool. It's not. You can't really see it. It's right here in the corner. This is an airplane that you definitely don't ever see modeled, and you would say, "Oh, that's an F-18." Like, no, it's not an F-18. It's a YF-17, and it actually is different. It's not the same airplane, but that one I scratch built, and that one's got leading edge flaps, which actually are super cool to use for slow flight stuff.
Now that's cool.
But it would be really neat to see stuff like that end up on, production models. It does require a pretty good setup for it to work properly, and it can definitely end badly. But I thought I'd try it, and it actually worked out pretty good. But
I think I told you the story down in St. George where I had the HSD F-16. It was an early edition,
Uh,
and it had leading edge slats, and I put servos in there, and I didn't have strong enough servos. And I'm coming in for landing, drop flaps, and I'm bringing them slats down, and all of a sudden they go full cantered down.
oh yeah.
And I lost all lift. It was just falling like a rock, and I throttled as hard as I could to get that thing going, and I barely made it to the runway. But it was an interesting learn right there.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, they definitely take a super strong and tight setup for it to work. And they do have them on turbine models now, but they got to be really good for a turbine model. So, and the reason is because the control surface isn't naturally stable because of where it's hinged. So like on a flap or like an aileron being hinged at the front and having the control surface behind it makes it somewhat naturally stable. I mean, they will flutter, but when it's hinged behind the front of the flight control, that's when, it wants to go both ways at all times. So it has to be held in place super strong for it to work.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so our RT-45s have slats on them, and they work out pretty good.
Oh, man. Old school.
There you go, buddy.
Man, dude.
Here's something that most people watching this video probably don't even know what this is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got one over here laying around. I got the actual Nitro engine. Dude, those things sound crazy to today's EDS.
Yeah. So I wanted to show you guys something. So this is a project that I'm currently working on.
Oh, yeah.
This is an old Jet Hanger Hobbies F-86 kit. So this came out in the early 80s. My dad built a couple of these when I was a kid. And basically, so right now there's no motor in this one. This is just the shroud. This is where the fan is. It's an actual fan shroud, but there's no motor in it. But let's see if I can get you guys to look through the intake here. So you can see all the way through. So I actually made this fiberglass duct, and the fuel tanks will sit on either side of the duct right here. And then it's got a fiberglass tailpipe that goes out the back. Now this is a kit. This is not an ARF. So you build everything on this thing. It does come with a fiberglass fuselage already made, but the wings are foam core balsa sheeted. The tails are solid balsa. You have to carve them out. And then I added a bunch of stuff. I did speed brakes, so I got speed brakes that I added into it and stuff like that. But yeah, essentially, if you guys aren't aware, it's a ducted fan, just like a EDF, but instead of a electric motor, it's got a little nitro or glow powered, however you want to call it, motor. And this one is a particularly small unit. This is a 5-inch fan, so 120 millimeters.
Yep.
And this is like a 40 size motor, basically, like if you're used to glow powered stuff. It's a little tiny motor. The one going in the Sabre is actually this, which is the same fan, but you can see I've kind of cut away some of the shroud to make clearance for the fuel tanks and everything. I wish I had this in there and I could show you just how tight everything is. But this F-86 is not much bigger than a Freewing F-86. It's almost the same size, and it's got a 120 millimeter fan in it. So that goes to show you just how tight things are in there. But this is the one I plan on running in it. It's the same fan unit as what I just showed you, but this is a much stronger engine. It's a 46, but this motor will turn 25,000 RPM. So
that's crazy, dude.
It's insane. It's pretty wild.
And how much pounds of thrust you think that thing's putting out?
So on a test stand, that setup put out about 8 pounds.
Yeah.
In the model, probably 7.
Yeah.
This is a Bob Violet fan. This is kind of this. So
that's like the original.
Yeah. So this is a Turbac. So this is like one of the very early ducted fans. This fan was originally called the SCSI fan, which came out in the late 70s. And Bob Violet was using those fans, and then he wanted to create his own fan. So he sold the rights to that fan and to his A4 kit to Larry of Jet Hanger Hobbies. And he developed his own fan. So this is the Bob Violet fan, which they later converted to EDF. But this has got a 91. I mean, look at the size of that motor compared to this one right here. It's gigantic. So
it's
you see
crazy, man. And that just kind of shows you like old school technology to today's, EDFs. It's amazing, man. Seeing that.
And things have come so far since then. And I kind of grew up around that stuff. My dad worked for Jet Hanger Hobbies for a short time when I was a little kid. And so I kind of grew up in the back of Larry's shop with my dad and watching those guys mess with ducted fan jets and building kits and stuff like that. So definitely a cool childhood memory But we go to the flying field, and if you flew jets, that's what you did. You flew with ducted fans with blow motors attached to them, and they are very finicky, and everything has to be just right for them to work, and it's not always 100% success rate. So, but they're super neat, especially today, because no one does it anymore, and you never see them anymore. So it's kind of a neat novelty thing. And so that's my current project that I'm trying to finish up. I finished up all the Warbird stuff that I was doing recently, and that's kind of my next deal here. So.
And the sound of those Nitro EDFs are like, once you hear it, you're like, you can't unhear it ever. It's
they smell
sound.
really good too.
Yeah,
they smell awesome.
I used to have I love the smell of glow, but I used to have the stuff that you could put in the glow fuel and make it smell like stuff. I used to love doing that. That's like old school, but no, man, that's actually pretty cool, dude. And I appreciate you showing that to everybody, because that's like I said, that's some nostalgic stuff that people don't really get to see or hear about. And it's all about exposing people to different things. Jeremy, what you got?
So you're saying you changed the awesome smell of glow into something else?
Yeah, dude. We had like some like grape smell. We had like, you could go get these smells. It was made for like racing cars. Will, you remember the smells these have for like the Nitro cars?
What the heck kind of smell?
No?
Like Sprite? I mean, I don't know.
Man, I must be alone on that.
I always did electric.
No, oh yeah. Well, no, in the Nitro cars, because sometimes like Nitro would have a weird smell. You put some of that smell in there, dude. Oh, dude, I'd have the airplane come by and it would smell like bubble gum. People are like, what in the world? So much fun.
That's funny. I mean, don't get me wrong. My smoke oil for my turbine jets, it smells like root beer as it goes by. So, I mean,
whatever. Eddie K remembers the bubblegum smell, man. Cool. But dude, there's times where I miss like the smell of Nitro. Like this time of the year is not when I miss flying Nitro airplanes, but like in the fall time and stuff like that, I really enjoy still like flying Nitro. And I actually turned RC Pilot Will into the Nitro as well too. So
yeah, I'm just waiting for it to cool off so I can break mine back out.
I know.
Yeah,
man.
we got a couple that we still fly occasionally. I got gifted a bunch of glow fuel from people, so I got a whole supply down there that'll last me for a few years for sure. But
dude, that's
like a gold mine, man. That's so expensive these days.
Oh, I know. It's like what 20? Well, here I think it's like $26.99. It's almost $30 a gallon.
Yeah, it's
$30
for a gallon of it.
How much is it where you guys are?
It's around 30.
I have no clue. I haven't even looked.
Does it make any sense that the price of a Nitro engine is the same as a gasoline engine, like a 2-stroke gasoline engine? It really blows my mind because
back when they were that much. Now, I mean, people go to our hobby store and they just donate these things. It's like free, take one, and they've got 30 motors just sitting on a cardboard box.
I still love them, man. I've got like 4 of them in my garage right now as we speak. I like the OS 160 FX was amazing. That was a stump puller of a engine.
Yeah, that's a big motor. That's a fuel sucker right there.
Yeah,
I used to run the Magnum 90.
Oh, dude, did you really? I could never get the Magnums to run good, man.
It was the 4-stroke. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh yeah, the 4-strokes are great.
I have a Magnum 91 in this Corsair. Let's see if I can get
91. Yeah, there you go. 91.
Yeah, 91.
I've had a bunch of those.
That's a 40 size Corsair with a 91 in it. It freaking rips. So
yeah, it was and the sound of that thing was just cherry on top.
When it's going by, you like I said, there's certain airplanes you have to run a 4-stroke in a Nitro engine.
I had a B-25 that had some 4-strokes in it, and that thing was so cool. But man, I hated tuning them so bad.
Oh, see, and I didn't worry. I got really good at tuning them, but I could never tune or get a Super Tiger to run proper. I've had one, and they weren't really the best. Yeah, I could never get a Super Tiger to run right.
Statos were amazing. Magnums were good. The 91 was good.
Super Tiger at one point switched to I think they went to Asia at one point to make their motors, but the original ones were made in Italy,
Yeah.
And I had a
Right.
45. I had a Super Tiger 45 and a Italian one in one of my models, and that thing was a
It's
pretty
good.
hot motor. Yeah, it ran
Yep.
awesome.
It's
But
funny you say that
I
because
got a
I had a
Chinese
guy.
Super Tiger 40 from my buddy, and that thing I can't get it to run. So yeah, I
Yep.
don't know.
Yep. It's
Have
pretty.
you ever
It's pretty
used any
interesting.
of those rotary motors that are Nitro?
I never had one of those.
Well,
No.
Bill Wagner just
A
said something
Rankle?
about that.
Yeah, there you go. The Winkle. Yeah, I've wanted to see
Yeah.
one of those. I've always wanted to see one, and I've never seen one.
Yeah, they sound
Bill
really
Wagner.
cool.
Bill Wagner just said something about that. He's got a buddy that's got a British 4-stroke rotary.
Well,
He's
that's
gonna see it
the
next
rotary is different, but it's a Winkle. It's almost like a Mazda motor where
Yeah,
it's got
it's
that
the same thing as
triangle.
Yeah,
a
that's
motor, yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, it's crazy cool.
Yep.
But radials are their own world of amazing too.
Oh, I know.
Oh man, they have no cap.
I've been there.
For
I've been
real.
there, done that. It's there's a reason why all my Warbirds have 2 strokes in them. Because
Tell me, dude.
radials, as cool as they are, man, they're nothing but trouble. Well, I say that, but we have one that's got one in it. So far, it's been good, but we'll see how long it lasts. So
I was gonna say having somebody work on it is another thing too. You're gonna have to just send it back, and you can't work on it unless you're
Yeah.
skilled
See,
like
I
that.
heard rumor that there's a guy in
Rotary
California that does tuning, or is he in Nevada? He might be in Reno. That does tuning for a lot of those radials and gets them
yeah,
running.
so if it's the guy I'm thinking of, his name is Ray English, and he
That
does a
sounds
lot of
about
stuff
right.
for all the Sato motors.
Yeah,
And so the Corsair that we have has a Sato FG84 that has all the Ray English
Oh,
mods.
nice.
Like I said, so far it has run fantastic, and Bentley flies the crap out of that thing. It has, you probably put 30 flights on it or more, or maybe even more than that since we got it.
yeah.
So
And that's what I heard is
Cool,
if
though.
you get the motor, if you try to do it yourself, it's not going to be very successful. But if you end up going and paying the I don't remember what the amount was, $700 to $1,000 or something like that.
It's
And-
not cheap. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
and then
guys.
this whole mod is he redoes the entire thing and makes it like cherry. And
Guys, you know what would be pretty cool though? What if you got one of those model V8 or V10 engines and put in like a P51 Mustang or something to like
Yeah.
actually give it?
you mean
They're
those
super
desktop
heavy
ones?
though. Yeah.
Huh?
They're
One of
super
those
heavy. That's
desktop-like
the
ones?
problem.
Oh, those model engines are pretty heavy.
Oh yeah. They're really heavy.
How about the ones
And they
that's
don't really
like,
make that much power. They don't
Really?
make hardly any power. Because
man?
there was a guy that put one of those in a big RC car, and it drives around, but it
Yeah, I
doesn't
saw
have
that.
much
You
Yeah,
should
power.
do the
RC
Lego
car.
one. I remember the people that make engines out of Legos.
Oh
And they
yeah,
actually run
I've seen the
air
Lego
and-
engine.
But there was a guy who did develop an actual liquid-cooled V12 with a gearbox for a large Mustang model, and it runs, and
That's
it's
crazy.
really expensive.
Yeah, but
I don't know
that
that
silver bullet or whatever it
they
was
ever
called.
flew it, but
It was in a big silver P51, if I remember right.
yeah,
Dude, that
just
sounded
crazy.
so cool.
yeah, super
That's
crazy.
crazy.
You
That's
looking it up, Bobby?
No, I got something else queued up. But I didn't even know that was I think I've seen that little engine he put in that thing, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah, it sounded so good.
And it's
But it
crazy.
was all custom, everything. Yeah, he made it all himself from what I remember.
Well, let's move on to the next topic real quick while we're going. We're already 38 minutes into the show, man. This has been great. And well, look, I don't know if you guys have noticed yet, but there was a new model that came out, and I saw it earlier today, and I was like, it's a Hobby Zone Carbon Cub 1.3, the Cleetus McFarland edition. How about that, right? So, he's a YouTuber, I guess you could say.
I knew
And
that was
he
just a
flies
matter
model
of time.
airplanes, and
Yeah.
this is what this is it right here. So something a little different. I guess they just put that right there on there.
That's
Yeah,
just
when
some paint.
he had that custom livery done on his airplane, I'm like, I bet you someone for sure is going to
Oh.
model this airplane because it's a cool
Oh, yeah.
paint job.
It's an
Oh,
awesome paint
great
job.
paint job, and he's got a great following, Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and matter of fact, there's his airplane right there. I saw it earlier. Check it out. That's cool, man.
Cleetus has probably exposed more people to the hobby than almost anyone in history, to be honest with you. I mean, millions of subscribers and viewers, and he does lots of model stuff on his channel, to be honest. So,
Oh yeah.
it's honestly
one of my friends
kind of
I've
crazy
never heard of this
sometimes.
guy. No
He's
offense,
my friend went there and helped him with his Comparf B2.
Yeah.
Got him, actually up and running, and then he goes and flies it off of a drag strip.
Yeah. But not a bad looking airplane, man.
I've never heard of this guy before. This is the first time I've heard of him.
Man, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does racing videos, but and car stuff mostly.
I just saw his video today. I'll show it real quick. Where he crashed his $20,000 jet. And this isn't my video. This is Cleetus McFarland's video right here, but I'll show it real quick. Just pretty cool. Check it out.
Dude, not gonna lie.
Isn't this where he has an incident?
Yeah, that's what I just said. But look, this is his airplane on this one. That's the airplane we were just talking about. It flying right there. So that's his version of that airplane. It's kind of cool. Little copy of his full scale. And for you guys that don't know him, that's him right there. And this is his jet, basically.
Don't worry.
And that thing has thrust vectoring on it.
Yeah.
And we'll watch him take it off here. He's a really good pilot. Full scale and RC, I think. But that's out of drag strip. You see that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, that's not a drag strip.
Yeah.
That's, like I said, that's where he flew the B2 Comparf off of.
Oh my gosh.
We were all like, he's hitting the wall.
It's flat. But yeah, he goes straight into it.
Nice.
And
Nice.
he's doing his thing, man.
Is that the timer running out? Yeah. You see the gear? Yeah, it's down.
He's bringing it in. There's a guy local that has this very same airplane.
Yep, that's the Pilot J10.
That's right.
Okay.
That was a good landing right there too. So,
You made it.
but I'm not sure. He said he crashed it, so let's see exactly what
A
happened.
little bit further than that.
I just know like how finicky jet engines can be. Giving them that low to the ground and like doing that is just crazy.
He almost crashes it here.
Yep. Yep.
A little bit further in. Keep watching. Keep watching.
I ain't gonna sugarcoat it, boys. I knew I had to just wait. I had to wait for a little bit of power before I tried to see it back up.
I think it's right here.
Oh, he's giving us some thrust right there.
When it rolls over, I think.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Oh nope, not there. Nope, next one.
That's impressive though.
Nice. Clean.
It looks like a very solid fly. It's a really good fly. I mean,
Holy crap.
So yeah, we'll have a thrust vectoring sport edition Gripen here in a little while.
Dude, can you like send her up in the sky?
I think there's rules
He's like,
against
you just
that.
send her up.
Here we go. I think it's right here. Not to be the spoiler.
400.
Alan's the only one that'll really get in trouble, though, I think.
All right, let me fly it real quick.
He said, "Let me fly real quick."
All right, please film. All right, I'm going up to the sky.
He gives it to his buddy. He's like, "I'm going up to the sky." Uh-oh. Looks like it's struggling. It's not going up. Which, with the jets, it's burning fuel, so it should be getting lighter and lighter and lighter, right?
That is a positive to turbines.
That's right. Pulled out.
Whoa!
There it is. It's
Power
the
line.
power line right there.
Oh my gosh!
Trailer.
Oh my gosh!
Was that the rudder?
That's the rudder.
He
lost
takes
the rudder.
Yeah, he loses some of the vert.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's definitely
and
rudder.
then he buzzes the trailer.
Oh Wow, it's the other one back there.
And then he hits the other power line.
Oh my gosh!
He's still flying though. He's still flying.
Oh my gosh!
Dude, the guy for Canards and
I hit 2 power lines.
let's see.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep,
Them
yep.
Canards
only
and those,
thing-
that Delta Wing is saving
Yeah,
him
dude.
at the
Power
moment.
lines are
So
shaking.
the only thing he didn't
Something
do
came
was
off.
send it back to the future like my buddy did.
Let's see here. Let's see if
When
he can
he
get
hit
it
the
now.
power line.
He still has his rudder. He lost the front half of his vert.
Yeah, dude, that was a
Still
that
has
was
his
a
rudder,
great save. That was an
That was
amazing.
a
save
really
right
good
there.
save.
Exactly.
And look, you can see it.
Power line.
Look at that.
That's right here.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
He gone.
Yep.
Nice.
Can you glue it back on? Is the question. Oh man, look at that.
Oh, it cut right into it.
Jeez, and there you have it, folks. Man, that's pretty cool. That was again, that was Cleetus McFarland's channel over there. I don't own that video, but you could check his channel out. Big shout out to him. Very, very cool. That was cool, man. I've never seen anything like that before. Jeez. Let's see here.
Hey
So-
Bobby, you seen the new 87 inch wingspan Viper that came out?
No.
It's turbine. It's on Motion. Black Horse dropped it.
Which one is that again?
They got a new 87.8 wingspan. So that's like
What is it, a Viper or what?
It's a Viper. It's like mine, but except for it's got the real world color scheme on it. So it's got the orange and black and white. And it's like 200 and I want to say 230 millimeters or 280 millimeters bigger than my jet. So it's like the same size as the one that you used to have, that fly. Yeah. So it's huge.
2.1, 2.2 or something like that. I can't even remember.
Yeah, it's a 2.2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2.2.
Man.
So it's a big boy, man. I figured you might want to jump on that, you know.
I am good. I think my sweet spot for me is like the 80s to the 120s, I think, you know.
That's a 120 Newton.
Not
It's a
until
120 to 160 Newton.
not until we knock down those trees at the end of our field. I won't be getting a big bird like that. You know.
You know, all it takes is a couple of turbine crashes at the base with a good amount of flame.
Yeah, you're right about that. Right about that,
Or
actually.
a can of gasoline.
That's true.
I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure a plane crashed here.
Yep, exactly. That's one way to get things cleared. And this is what Will's referring to. This one right here. This is just like the one I had. The number one reason why I got rid of that Viper too was not only was it like it was big and kind of cumbersome for me, but it didn't have the top hatch where I could get to the turbine. It was down at the bottom, and I was wondering if this one's like that too, and it's not. So it has a top hatch.
Clean, dude. They got like full landing gear doors and everything on that.
Yeah, that's nice.
That sucker's clean.
It is nice, I will say. If you want to, out of the box.
What is it?
Black Horse Viper turbine, 87.8 inch, $2,079. Not terrible for it at all.
Comes with the brake controller, all the retracts.
Yeah.
Only thing you got to throw in it is a turbine, 2 batteries, and some servos.
Yeah, that's not terrible. Weighs in the same weight as mine did. Yeah, 29 pounds. So yeah, man, definitely a cool bird for sure. But yeah, man. Well, that's good to know. Let me see here. I was just jumping back into the conversation. By the way, big shout out to
I missed that. Come on.
Let's see. Big shout out to Tom, the airplane guy. Appreciate that $9.99, man. Definitely helps get new airplanes and just kind of helps keep the channel going and everything. While we're talking about channel going and everything, myself and Will, we speed trialed the Habu E-Flight Habu XE80. Now, Will, you can't tell them exactly how fast it was going, but
that was scary. That was scary. That was the scariest speed trial I've ever done.
Hey, we had some good shots, man. That airplane is much faster. Put it this way. when I was thinking of the Habu, the 80, I was thinking of like the fiberglass one. I was like, man, this thing needs to be really fast, right? Like if it's going to be a Habu. And that one was surprisingly fast. It was always over 100 miles an hour. Let's just put it that way. And at 50% throttle, it was pretty much over 100 miles an hour. So it's an extremely fast airplane, very efficient. So I can't wait to drop that video and everything. But
dude, there was points. I'll tell you this, guys. There was points on that video that I had to really trust Bobby.
Yeah.
I had to really trust him.
He stands right here like,
so you're saying you don't have the trust.
I'll always take care of you, dude.
Use the force.
I got you, man.
Other than that, my instincts was just get out of the way. Just get out of the way.
That thing was going so fast. I don't even think you could get out the way if you wanted to.
I probably should have got out the way if I wanted to.
Have you guys heard of Eflux RC? They used to do a lot of jet fan assemblies.
Oh, yeah.
Jet fan 80s, jet fan 90s.
Oh,
so
yeah.
back in maybe, I don't know, 7-8 years ago now, probably, there was a RC Groups competition for the fastest Habu. It was before the XE came out, so it was the original silver and red and black one, the composite one.
Yeah.
And so Gary is the owner of Eflux, and we're buddies, and I used to fly stuff for him at events and everything else. So he built, and the airframe's stock, but the power system was a jet fan 80, and I don't know what motor it was because I think he was using something custom. But we were running a 12S 5000 setup in that Habu.
Jeez.
And it pulled so many amps, I could get 4 passes because the requirements were 2 upwind and 2 downwind passes, and then you averaged everything together. And I could get the 4 passes, and I would pretty much have to glide it around and land it because it pulled like 200 amps. So it was like 8,000 watts or 7,500 watts or something like that. And
what was the LiPo looking like?
Well, what was that?
I said, what was the LiPo looking like? Was it like?
Well, when you use them in short bursts, they could take it. And I can't remember what they were. They were like some 80C or 100C packs of some sort.
They were.
But anyways, yeah, I'm not sure what they were. Maybe Revolution or something like that.
That's
something
crazy.
A Revo or it was something like that. But anyways, we averaged 207 miles an hour, I think, with all the passes. That's all 4 passes together.
Jeez.
I think the very first pass, which was a downwind pass, and because as you might know, that's not a very big airplane. So to get it going that fast, you almost have to dive it just so you can keep it close enough to you so you can still see it because it gets small really quick. And so basically we were doing a split S dive, leveling out maybe 100 yards off the end of the runway and then doing the pass and then coming back up the other side and kind of doing the same thing, kind of like a big half pipe. But yeah, the first pass was 228 miles an hour or almost 230 miles an hour.
Dude, that's crazy.
And just the sound of it was unbelievable. Going through the air. The sound of the airframe going through the air was wild. So
it's amazing.
Video of that. Bobby, I'll have to send you the link to it. It's not on my channel.
Yeah.
It's on Gary's channel. So Eflux, he's got a YouTube channel, but anyways, it's on his channel. It's a wild video. And we were flying it up here in Tashby, which is a dirt runway. And in the summertime with the heat. So and we're at 4,000 feet up here, and there's actually a pretty noticeable difference in speed when it comes to EDFs. The vertical is worse up here, and the stall speeds are worse. But the flight times and the speeds, and Jeremy could probably say the same for flying in Utah, but the speeds are actually higher up here in the thinner air than they are down at sea level, like by a lot.
Absolutely.
Because like when I fly my EDFs down at sea level, it's like they're like way slower.
Really?
But the landing speeds are slower.
I'm so glad that somebody said that. I have had so many people saying it's hard for us to get up to speed in the high altitudes. It takes a lot for us to get up to speed. I'm like,
it is different. In the air. So they don't accelerate as fast, and they take more speed to get off the ground. But once they're in the air, And
once they're in
the
the air,
vertical
you
is
got it
good.
going. Yeah.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
We wanted
I
wanted the Gripen, just so you know. I'll be right back.
I don't know enough of that to speak on it between the air density and everything like that, but that's pretty interesting though. I never really thought of it like that.
I mean, it's simple science.
Yeah.
And honestly, we see a difference in speed at the same flying field throughout the day. So like even at the field that we typically fly at that you see in all of our videos, that's at about 500 feet. So it's super low. And in the mornings when the air is damp and cool, the airplanes take off and land super slow, but the top speeds are way down. And if we fly the same airplane in the afternoon after it's warmed up and the air's dried out, they're noticeably faster, even just by the eye. So I'm sure if we had calibrated stuff in that, we would definitely see a difference in speed. But
wow,
like even the SR-71, after I did the 80 millimeter conversion, the first time I flew it was first thing in the morning, and it was like, all right, I think it's faster, and the vertical is definitely better for sure. But it wasn't until the couple of flights later in the day where I was like, oh yeah, this thing's really moving out now. So it makes a big difference. And you don't see it as much with like prop airplanes for whatever reason, but with ducted fans, you definitely seem to notice a pretty good difference.
That's why I was telling, like last week I was saying something about it. But in our cooler season, like the winter time, like we'll get lift with no problem.
Oh yeah.
Like we'll be off the ground like a quarter ways of the runway. And in an EDF of something that size, or if it's smaller and got better wings, it's up before you know it. It's like a stall plane. But landing, it's like we're sitting on something. Something's literally holding the plane coming down because our air is so thick when it's cold out here.
And you guys probably have humid, cold air too, which makes it even better. Like it's thicker air.
Yeah, so. it's got moisture to it, so it makes it even better. So, but like in our verticals, we can climb all day long. I literally do vertical takeoff. I don't I'll take off and straight up in the air, right off the ground.
I will say fall is more fun for the EDFs for sure, and like for pretty much all airplanes around here. It's just much more happier air than what we normally get. And our air's so thick.
We have a limit on that.
Yeah.
And Bobby knows that because I did you remember that one wing I had, Bobby? And I put it in that dive trying to push it past its limits. Man, the thing literally with no gyro, nothing. It was coming down and I pushed it straight down, full speed. It was a Neptune 64 millimeter flying wing from Motion RC. And that sucker said, like, it literally was shaking the wings apart. And Bobby was like, whoa. And I was just looking at whoa.
Yeah.
It shook itself so violently with no gyro, nothing. Because it was just going faster than what the air would allow it to travel through, I guess, or it hit its thermal limits, whatever that is. It hit its limit. And it was just like, it came apart. It bent one of the wings. The battery and the ESC flew two different directions.
Yeah.
And then it started gracefully landing down to the ground. I was like,
it did.
Okay, that was fun.
Well, definitely crazy times. We've had some crazy times like that, and the airplane was perfectly fine. It was like just came down, floated right on down. So, but moving on to the next topic, somebody in here wanted to see the JetRuler JAS flight. So I said, you know what? Why not? Because Jeremy did a good job on getting that video all squared away, and I guess right now he's running to go get it. But I don't know if you've seen that, Brett, or not. That you may have seen it in person, but I'm going to show this award-winning JetRuler airplane right here. It actually won, and I believe it over at Jet Silver, Kentucky.
Man, that is nice.
Yeah, that thing's nice, man.
Very detailed.
It looks like just a nice flyer.
Well, Gripen's fly nice anyway.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Delta's kind of they have their nuances, but they make for fantastic flying airplanes.
They do. They really do. And landers too. They're not difficult.
Yeah, you could slow them down with no problem. Like you can get them going slow and just kind of creep past. Well, not creep, but for a jet, you can slow it down pretty darn slow. Let's just say it that way. I like the Rafale.
Bentley has the FMS Rafale, and we did the tailpipe mods to that, and we run on a Cessna 7000, and it flies awesome.
Really? Which Rafale are you talking about?
The FMS 80 millimeter Rafale.
Oh yeah, y'all did the thrust tube.
Yeah, we made our own little Mylar thrust pipes for it, and that thing performs awesome. Honestly, like it.
Nice.
It does really, really well, and the high alpha is pretty sweet too.
Oh yeah, dude, they high alpha real sweet.
The only thing I didn't like about it that I had was like the flight times, because it was just I was getting really short flight times, but I didn't know if it was my lipo or if it was just the time it was high on it. But excellent flight.
Honestly, part of that's the tailpipes on it. They're too big. And so you end up using a lot of throttle just to keep it at the right flying speed.
Yep.
So with the nozzles neck down, it makes it to where, we use 7000s, but we're getting over 5-minute flight times with it and flying it relatively aggressive too. So not just floating around.
Oh, wow. So that's actually it's amazing how something like that can make that big of a difference,
So back when back when that model came out, Chris Wolf got one because the RC Geek he was doing lots of reviews back then, and so they had sent him one, and so I happened to be at his house, and I was looking at the tailpipes, and I was like, dude, these things are huge for a single 80. I'm like, you need to make some smaller pipes for this thing. So I whipped up. In fact, I think I used like these little paper cups, and I cut them down, and we just glued them in there, and we flew it at his field and then glued in those pipes, and it was like, holy cow, this thing does so much better with these little pipes. And then he went on to 3D print some that he designed himself. But yeah, I mean, it makes a huge difference having the right size tailpipe on an EDF especially. So
moving the CG on that actually helps out too, because
we had the CG back on his. Yeah, and we have A3X Plus on it too, and it's rock freaking solid.
Yeah, it'll pop off the ground, even on grass. It'll pop off grass with no problem. You move that CG back. Same thing with the SC27. You remember when I moved the battery on my SC27?
Oh yeah.
I put it on I actually relocated the battery to where the receiver normally sits, and slid the CG back, and it just with the AS3X, and it just pops right off the ground and flies. So. And that actually increased it increased the flight time a little bit because I didn't have to spend so much time on the ground trying to get it flying.
Right. Yeah, that's one of those things where it's amazing how something so simple like that can make such a big difference. It's just one of those things I didn't even really think about until I started doing some research and reading up on it. I'm like, man, the thrust tube makes all the world of difference. And there was a guy on RC Groups that was selling those thrust tubes. So
Bill Wagner saying something about the F-15. I did get some thrust tubes for the F-15 from JetWorks.
Did it help?
It was. Yeah, it did. With the 9-blade, it helped a lot.
Man, I wish somebody would make a really nice F-15 like properly, because
I still have them. I still have my F-15. I just gutted it.
It's just a hog, man.
Hanging up on his wall.
Yeah, I've seen that airplane like lumber off the ground off of grass. So terrible, so many times. Yeah. I'm like, man. But,
I'm thinking about putting it back together and slide the CG back. Put it back together with a jet fan 90 mil and slide the CG back.
That's another one of those. It's crying for a V2.
Well, it's another one of those airplanes, just like the SR-71.
Say that one more time. I couldn't hear.
So I'm just getting the gear down without a transmitter, so I'm just.
Oh no, I was talking to Brett
to bring the gear down.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that, Brett.
Oh, no worries. The F-15, which is one of my favorite jets, is one of those airplanes, much like the SR-71, where it has specific traits in the full scale that you want to, model. And one of those is the performance of it. And the F-15 is very well known for its vertical performance. And so to have a model that's like mediocre performance, kind of like, it just kind of ruins it,
It does.
Yep.
It does.
Yep.
And that was my biggest thing with the F-15 because everybody knows they fly amazing. They're excellent flyers.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
I gutted it. Because I was like, man,
But that one, man, was
So
hard.
do you remember the old Byron F-15? It's like a 9-foot long. It's from back in the glow ducted fan days.
I remember the Byron brand, but I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
No.
So they had an F-15. It was probably the biggest model that you could buy, honestly, and it was a twin ducted fan. For its time, it was huge. It was 9 feet long, and no one else was making jets that big. But anyways, I got a hold of one of those like 10 or more years ago, and I did all my own ducting for it, put jet fan 120s in it, I put scale landing gear on it, and that airplane weighed 35 pounds and had close to 35 pounds of thrust. And that thing was, first of all, it was a total tight coming into land. It landed really sweet, but the performance was freaking awesome. I mean, 150 miles an hour, go straight up almost all day. And it was a really sweet flyer. It's still around. It's back east somewhere. The guy that I sold it to passed away. He sold it. Some guy bought it, flew it a couple times. That guy sold it. Another guy bought it, flew it. And then another guy bought it. And it's still back there somewhere. It was at E-Jets a couple years ago, and they were flying it. But
Jeez.
The old Byron F-15. Yeah, someone needs to do a twin 80 F-15. That'd be freaking sick. Like
that's what I'm saying, dude. I have been saying that for almost over a year now.
A good size, like
that's all we need, man.
It's going to cost $1,000, but we're going to buy it.
I know. I'll buy it. It'll be well worth it
if it's done right.
Properly.
Yeah.
Or if they do like the twin, 90 millimeters or something like that. I don't know, man. But
twin 90s?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Cow, dude.
Yeah, why not? Hey, Jeremy, by the way, Zero wants to know when will the Gripen be in stock there, sir?
I'm verifying. It might I think it's October.
Okay.
Might be September.
It's around the same time they're gonna be rolling out those recalls for us.
Let's see here.
Nice.
All right. And
there it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, we ran out and grabbed it. It's raining outside, but it doesn't.
Wait a second. Those canards are joint?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they don't need to be independent. It's all about design. That's how they did it.
Yeah. Why would they need to be independent though, Will?
I mean, some people
so you can get more roll.
Yeah, you get more roll out of it.
You don't need any more roll out of it. My
thing is, if I am buying it, who are you to tell me I don't need more roll out of it?
Wait a minute, man. Forget
already
that.
Uncontrollable in roll considered at high rate.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Forget all that conversation. Little dude's wearing an Airwolf shirt, man. I used to watch Airwolf as a kid. Dude, I loved Airwolf, man. That was the coolest show ever, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Hey,
have you watched it yet?
Airwolf?
Like lately?
Not lately, no. Dude,
I don't think it's aged well.
Keep the memory.
Oh, are you serious? Oh no.
Don't let it get ruined. Keep the memory.
I won't watch it then. There's a new one. There's a new Airwolf.
No.
No, he's saying just don't go back and watch the old ones.
Don't go back and watch it. Just keep the memories of the old ones.
I will, dude. Those childhood memories of that thing being so cool and then shooting rockets and everything. Look, I watched the old Chuck Norris movie that I was like, I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, man, it is so cheesy, man, with all the explosions and everything. I was like, this isn't realistic at all. I'm like, what is going on? I was like, were we really at that point back in those days? I guess we were. We didn't know any better. But
I grew up watching Black Sheep Squadron, so that's why I like Corsairs so much.
Dude, I used to watch that too, man. Gosh, I used to watch all that. I used to watch the Rifleman. What was the
you used to watch the Rifleman?
Oh yeah, I used to watch the Rifleman.
Man,
I used to watch there was one Combat. I used to watch Combat as a kid. Y'all remember that? It was like it's like a World War II like black and white movies from like the 60s or something like that. Dude,
Seems like I remember it. I don't remember the name of it, but seems like I remember I used to watch something like that.
Man,
I know you guys have seen Iron Eagle, right?
Oh yeah.
So my dad actually built one of the models that was used in that movie that got blown up for one of the explosion scenes.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So my dad was friends with the guy that did all the models for that movie. And so my dad actually this is in 85 or 84, because the movie came out in 86.
Yeah.
And so anyways, my dad had built a Jet Hanger Hobbies Mirage model, and they said, hey, we need more Kafirs for the movie. Would you be interested in turning your Mirage into a Kafir model, and then we're going to blow it up and we'll pay you? And he was like, sure, I could use some airplane money. So
I mean, yeah.
He converted his Mirage. I got pictures I can send to you later, but he converted his Mirage into a Kafir, and then they used it in the movie and blew it up. So you can see all the balsa wood pieces flying, when it explodes. It's pretty funny. But
dude, that's awesome.
He actually kept the vertical off of it for years and years. When I was a kid, it was up in the attic with the rest of the crashed airplanes. And
dude, that's awesome, man.
He had a piece of it for a long time.
Dude, see, now I'm looking in the comments. Bill said MASH. My parents used to watch, my dad used to watch MASH. I could never get into it. I was too young, so I was kind of like, man, this is boring. And then watching them dust off ducks come in, and that music in the beginning, man, that was like, I don't know, it's just a killer, a mood killer. So sad. Let's see here. I could never get into it.
Hey, I got some information. The JetRuler Gripens should be available in November to December.
Okay.
They're currently working and making the ones that are already pre-ordered. So
nice.
That would mean the container after this container. So
gotcha. All right. Heck, since we got you in here, man, what is the greatest RC airplane of all time in your view?
Wow.
That's a loaded question, dude. That's a loaded question.
There's some really neat models out there.
You got to pick one.
And me being a jet guy is kind of like, I can't remember who makes it, but there's a triple XL F-104. It's like 15 feet long.
Aero World.
16. Yeah.
Air World.
That thing is insane.
That is massive.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some amazing models over the years. That's probably like the coolest production model that I could say would be like the top of the list. But there's been some one-off models built over the years that, just incredible. There was one that my friend Paul was involved with back in the 90s, and this was before anyone would even fathom this, but he did a B-58 Hustler. Well, his friend did, and he helped him. But they did a B-58 Hustler with 4 custom ducted fans with the glow motors in it, and had a drag chute on it that had handmade landing gear. A B-58's got pretty complex landing gear.
Yeah,
and so it was roughly about the size of the one that was at Jets Over Kentucky this last year. Mm-hmm. I got lots of footage of that airplane. It was about that size, but back in the mid-90s, that was insane. That was huge. And to have 4 glow ducted fans, and they all had to be running perfect for that thing to actually fly.
Oh yeah.
Seeing stuff like that is like super, inspirational, because that
legendary
real stuff. That's a real project that someone spent years of their life building, and then it only flew a handful of times. They supposedly had a switch or something fail on board during a flight, and the airplane crashed. And so there is of it on YouTube. Just Google, RC B-58 or whatever. You'll eventually find it. But just a super incredible project. It's stuff like that, especially to like a young person like me when I was a kid. You'd see pictures of it in a magazine or something and be like, no way, that's ridiculous. Who would think of that, And it barely flew, but it did fly.
Because the way things are made like today, do you think like people today still have that same like, whoa, that's crazy, right? Like,
I think a lot of that's kind of been lost in the hobby, to be honest with you.
Too. Yeah.
And I think it is unfortunate, but it's all it really takes now is money. And if you have the money, you can buy stuff like that, or you can pay someone to build it for you. Back in those days, it took a group of people to be able to build something like that. So I think it meant more back then. It goes the same for like, if you're into racing cars or whatever, like back in the day, you had to kind of build it and make all the parts yourself. Now it's like you can go out and buy a C8 Corvette that would probably smoke most of those cars, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And have the AC and cruise control and get 30 miles a gallon and everything else.
And not even feel like you're doing 130.
If I'm at a car show and there's a C8 Corvette parked right there and you name it, whatever, 60, whatever, I don't care what it is, fully restored, some guy did all the work himself, I'm going to go straight to that car and admire it, and I'll walk right past the C8 because it just doesn't mean as much.
Yeah.
I think the effort that goes into the models has a lot to do with the effect that it has on people. And so, and like for me, especially, like I have my T-38 and I've had that airplane since I built it in 2012. And I spent an entire year building that plane. And it was kind of technically it wasn't the first of its kind because my friend Andy built one as well. We built them together. His crashed, unfortunately, not too long after I got mine flying. But I mean, I have like an entire year of my life, 1,000 hours in that airplane. And it's still here, it's still alive, and I still fly it occasionally. But to me, that airplane means a whole lot more than some ARF I picked up. And while I do have fun with those airplanes, they don't mean as much to me.
That's why I have like a hard time getting rid of some of my balsa airplanes, because I'm like, there's sentimental value in these things. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's the word right there. Sentimental value.
Sentimental value. Yeah. And that's it right there. That's it, man. That's amazing. I watched your video of you flying that too, by the way, and it flies amazing.
It does. It flies fantastic. And this airplane I built it in an interesting time in my life. I was actually working away from home five days a week. I mean, I work away from home a lot now, but I was working away from home 5 days a week for about a year and a half. And so I built this airplane in my room. I had a 12 by 12 room. And when I put this thing together, I had to open the door to stick the nose out of it. So I had a little workbench that I found out in a scrapyard. And so that airplane has a lot of sentimental value to me.
Yeah.
But also it's cool because other people, I take it to events and stuff, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, what kit is that?" And I'm like, "It's not a kit. It's scratch built." What do you mean it's scratch built? Like, no, I took a set of 3D drawings and I designed that airplane and built it with my own hands.
You made it from nothing, literally.
And then it becomes a whole lot cooler, right? I mean,
yeah.
If you look around my garage, I got all kinds of ARFs, and I love them, and I got foamies and balsa stuff and whatever. But the airplanes that mean the most to me are the ones that I scratch built and designed myself, for sure. Because I can just buy another ARF if I crash it or whatever, but I can't replace that airplane. So
that's right. Yep.
And that's been lost in the hobby. People don't really build anymore, and so that's a huge part of the hobby. And
not build. They don't even take the time to put together their ARFs.
Well,
everybody else put their ARFs together.
They won't even clear some nose gear well to fit a landing gear out of it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, so I'm trying to get the kid here building stuff. So this is his second stick and tissue RC project that he's been doing. He built all this himself. He even designed a hatch into it, and we got some E-Flight hardware. But my friend Chris gave this to us, or gave this to Bentley, and he's been building it all by himself. And it's neat because when you build stuff by yourself, it means more. It's a really cool airplane. He has that Gillow Stearman that he built and converted to RC, and that's a really neat little model. It's all tissue covered, and you learn a lot about working on stuff and following instructions and looking at plans and figuring things out. And these aren't models that were designed to have RC in them, so it takes a lot of work just to get that to hold all the equipment in it and figure out where everything's supposed to go.
You're right.
There's so much that goes into it,
There's a ton that goes into it, and it reminds me of for me, when I first started getting into the hobby, and I was balsa airplanes, everything. I was buying ARFs. I didn't know anything of an ARF, so when I would assemble an ARF and put it together and complete it, and then go out to the field and do the maiden flight, nervous as heck, and it flew good, dude. There is such a good feeling of accomplishment when that thing's flying, everything's good, everything checks out, there's no problems. It didn't fall apart. there's something in that you can't replicate unless you build or like assemble something like that. And so
Right.
I know what you're talking about for sure.
So
And you
I
don't
have,
get
I
that
have
with
one more.
the ARFs. You just don't get it.
So this one right here, this is a Bell X1.
I've seen that video. That's cool, dude.
And honestly, it was probably one of the coolest maidens I think I've ever done because, first of all, the only X1s that have ever flown as models were small, like gliders or rocket powered ones that are small and not scale and everything. This is probably the first RCX1 that's got full house landing gear, scale wings, and everything. The wings almost scale thickness. It's super thin.
Man,
And
that's
before
amazing.
we flew it, we had no idea where to put the CG because it's got a huge body and a small wing. And so the CG typically is not where it would be if it were just a regular fuselage and a regular wing. So I didn't want to crash it. My friend Paul helped me design this airplane. He built the landing gear for it. It's got 3D printed scale landing gear that fold up just like the real one. And so it's just a super neat project. And everyone, so we go to this event every year. Jeremy goes to it. It's in St. George, Utah. And we all go there, and there's a lot of people that show up that build stuff, scratch build, kit build. It's almost all scratch build, to be honest with you, as far as the models go that show up. And so everyone knew this one was coming, and we didn't made it until we got to this event because we wanted everyone to kind of partake in the moment. Hopefully, hoping it was going to be good. We didn't know how it ended up way overweight. It's like 10 pounds, which is insane. It's only got a single 80 in it.
Right.
And but man, when it came off the ground, it was like the coolest feeling, and everyone was cheering. And so, if you guys have watched The Right Stuff, they make a kind of a joke out of Chuck Yeager chewing the gum called Beemans. It's an old gum from the 40s or whatever. And so somebody had actually bought a pack of Beemans and gave one to everybody. So we were all chewing on gum when we did the first flight. And so it was just a super neat experience. I mean, you can't replicate that. You don't get that from buying an ARF and throwing it together and flying it. As much as we enjoy doing that, it's not the same experience. So
the only thing that I say is really good about an ARF is that separation when you crash it and you tear it up, right? Like it doesn't hit as hard. Because I've crashed airplanes that I built, and I mean, like, again, I built them from scratch. Like, well, not from scratch. That's not right. I assembled them from an ARF, right? But I did it myself, and some people don't know about what it feels like to deal with epoxy and get it all over your hands, and then that kind of stuff, and drop it in servos and spending all that time, and then you crash it and you don't know. So
what ARFs have done for the hobby, though, is they've exposed a lot of people to the hobby that wouldn't have been able to necessarily build an airplane. And so there's two sides to that story, right? I mean, the ARFs have kind of taken away a lot from the hobby, but they've also given a lot to the hobby. So
it's kept it alive.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, it's revolutionized the hobby. It's kept it alive and kept it going forward. And sometimes you don't want to sound like an old timer, and those were the good old days. But it's where we are as a society. I mean, we don't have to do that as much as possible, but we're also losing something, like you said, in that. So
I got to second that with what Bobby said, because when I had my Viper go into the trees that night, Bobby could tell you I didn't sleep well.
It hits different.
But my F-22 went into the tree before, stayed overnight. I thought nothing about it. My Sukhoi crashed, thought nothing about it. When that Viper went in the tree, it ain't the price. It wasn't the price that got me. It was all the time I took. It took me a whole month to assemble that plane.
Yeah.
I put servos in it that weren't supposed to fit in it. I had to redo all of that. I had to do a lot of work to it. Just to get everything to work. Then I had to do a lot of programming. It was just a lot of work. So I second what Bobby says. You crash something that I didn't like build it from scratch, but it was an ARF. I had to put every control surface together. I had to put all the gear in. I had to run all the wiring through the fuselage, run the wiring through the wings, put all the lights in. Everything you see there, I had to do all of that myself. All I had was an empty shell with a wood that was put together.
Yeah.
That's all I had. And I had to do everything else on my own. All the epoxy, taking it out to the field, checking it. Bobby caught it when I checked it the first time on my first one. And he was like, man, you're going to have to redo these control surfaces. Had to pull it back apart and redo it right there at the field because it didn't adhere properly. So I had to do all that crap over again. And it's like, when that plane crashed, I didn't sleep well. I took work off the next day.
Oh yeah,
like,
you were worried. You went out there.
Yeah, it was a big difference.
Yeah,
it was a big difference.
It's very interesting for sure.
But when it's successful, it's that much more enjoyable too. You know,
it's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
So
See, that's kind of funny. Like, you know, we talk about the build on that type of stuff, but some of the things that like we're involved in, like at my level of doing things that make it out to everybody else, you know, a piece of me kind of goes with all of that. You know, when, for instance, the B1, you know, it took a lot of make sure everything's good, you know, so it had a little bit of love in there too. That's why I've got so many of them, because it's a part of me and it will always be, you know. But, you know, it's kind of neat, a different aspect of the thought, right? I mean, you know, it's not scratch built, but, you know, but being involved in a level of development, you kind of get that same effect, but in a different view, because we make it easy for other people that don't have to worry about that. They don't have to get that heartache, you know?
Right.
Like, you know, but I crash one, it's like, oh my gosh, you know?
So basically, when somebody buys a plane and they crash it, and it's something that you did all the hard work in, you actually feel the pain.
Yeah.
Actually, a little bit, yeah. You know, I sit there and I go, what happened?
Right.
Did I do my due diligence in this? You know what I mean? Did something get overlooked? You know, I don't think so. Maybe, you know what I mean? And so I really try to investigate it, and, you know, just to try and make sure like I said, it's a different thought process on some different level. You know, there's not a lot of people that get that view, right? On a professional level, development level, company level, you know, and you know, we take a little bit of pride in it too, just like a custom scratch built, you know.
I've seen people walk away from the hobby, from airplanes that they spent. Like, matter of fact, there's a guy that I know extremely well, member of our club. He spent, I want to say, almost 2-3 years building an airplane, and on the maiden flight, it went in, and like you could tell, it did more than crush him. But you know, he stopped flying for a while, and then pretty much came back around like a year and a half later and rebuilt again. You know, there's just that grieving period. But like I said, there's something different when you build your airplane. You're emotionally attached to that airplane. A part of you is in that airplane. By the way, Craig Bevan wants to know, he's asking, he says, where are the inlets on that X1, by the way?
The most ingenious spot ever.
You're looking at it.
Right there.
The cockpit.
The cockpit.
So there's
the intake.
There's no windows, just the framework. And so because the X1 has all that framework on it, it really hides where the inlet is. And so there's a duct that runs all the way across the top above the wing, and then it drops down like a little S turned, and the fan's sitting back in here. So, and it's just a E-flite 80 millimeter, like out of a F-16, and the thing hauls butt. Honestly, it's pretty fast. We put a GPS in it. It does about 125 to 130, which is a scale Mach 1, actually. So we did the math, and it's about 750 miles an hour.
That's about right.
Visually, so
that's cool, man.
Yeah, it's flipping amazing.
And we have a little Jeep that Bentley drives, and with a tow bar, and we tow it out to the end of the runway, and then we designed to where we can unhook it just by backing the Jeep up, and then you can drive away, and then I take off. So, and a lot of people will say the X1 didn't take off from the ground, but yes, it did. It did one time, and there's video footage of it, and it's probably the most incredible footage you'll ever see of the X1. And just Google X1 takeoff, and you'll probably find a video of my X1, but you'll also see videos of the real one and Chuck Yeager standing on top of the wing. They're towing it out to the lake bed up with a Jeep. Everyone's out there to watch, because if you watch the video, you'll see the Navy was talking crap, and you know the Air Force and Navy don't like each other all that much. And so the Air Force said, because the Navy said, well, you guys can break the sound barrier, but you got to be dropped from an airplane to do it. And this is a long story, but the X1 was designed to take off from the ground originally, and then it couldn't because of certain things. But or it could, but the flights would be very short. So they decided to try it, and so they filled that thing up with fuel, drug it out to the end of the lake bed, took off from the ground, broke the sound barrier at 20,000 feet, glided back down and landed. So
Isn't that funny, dude?
yeah, it's like
awesome.
a 5-minute flight, like a super short flight. But so yeah,
Well,
so the way you see this X1 modeled is the way it looked when it did the takeoff flight. And actually, the X1 changed. The paint scheme changed a few times, a little bit, very small differences. But the way you see it now is the way it was in the videos. And yeah, just Google it. It's amazing footage. You'll be blown away. It's so
they changed the vert and the tail a couple times too, if I remember right.
So there's two different wings for the X1. One's a thin wing, one's a thicker wing. The tails pretty much remain the same. As far as the X1, the normal X1 goes, the later X1s did change. But anyways, yeah. So there was a couple different paint schemes though, even on the original X1. But yeah. So and that's the other thing too is I get super into like the actual history on specific airplanes, and so that to me is an enjoyable part of the hobby as well. It's not just flying the models. So there's all these airplanes in here with paint schemes on them are all a very specific paint scheme, and they all have stories behind them. So it's a fun part of the hobby.
Man.
This is why we like Brent on here.
I'm telling you, man, it's a good time, you know. But look, I did want to tell you guys we are almost at the end of the show, man, and so I think I want to tell you guys, hey, look, really appreciate Brett you being on the show and everything, and dropping all that good, useful knowledge, man. We learned quite a bit, man. I know Will did because Will was looking puzzled back there, and then all of a sudden he was like just smiling and taking all this information in.
Yep, you know it.
I'm telling you, man. But this is the thing.
Awesome RC plane stuff.
There, yeah, man. You gotta wave that in your face. You know what I mean? You gotta
Hey,
get
never
in
know.
there.
You might see me pull out there to the field with a 105 millimeter F-15 by Freewing.
You never know, man. You never know. I don't know about that, but hey, you never know. But I'll tell you, Brett, we really appreciate you, man, coming in and hanging out with us, and just going in there and giving some good information, some good pointers, and everything. Because, like I said, it's one of those things where, a lot of people don't get exposure to this kind of, information. So it's nice when you actually are, you're kicking that information out to everybody. And also, Jeremy, we certainly appreciate you, man, for hanging out with us, checking out, and just keeping the good information flowing and everything like that. But Will, you got anything?
Guys, have a great weekend. Thank y'all for hanging out with us Thursday night. We gotta fly we're gonna do another speed trial on that plane, aren't we? The Habu?
Yeah, we're gonna do one on the Habu, and that's gonna blow your mind. And then we're also gonna do one on that F-16, man. I haven't done one on the F-16, so I want to see how fast that thing's clicking about. So
Bobby's gonna try out those Turnigies, and I ordered this piece right here, guys. This is a XT90 to EC5, but it's one piece. There's no solder, nothing in between there, so he's gonna be able to really push that pad without burning anything out. So we're gonna see how that pans out. And we'll let you guys know how this works out too. So whether Bobby cooked it or not.
Yeah, man. That's pretty much it. But look, guys, we're gonna slide on off of here, man. I think it's time for us to step back and punt. What do you think?
Let's punt.
All right. Man, we certainly appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us, Brett. We certainly appreciate everything. We've got Brett in the mix. We've got
he's got my brain turning over here.
I know, man. He's just making you a better person, man. And we've got Jeremy Stolt over there in the background. We got Kyler over there.
Employee.
I'm telling you, man. We just have
again my DOD job.
Terrible employee.
That's it.
At RC. Terrible employee.
You guys. Whitson Brown, I will definitely give you a call, man. So be on the lookout for my me giving you a call back. But other than that, guys, man, I think it's time for us to shut this bad boy down. What do y'all think?
Let's do it.
All right, guys. Y'all take it easy. We'll see you next time. And until then, I think it's going to be pretty good. We're out of here.